Hey Daniel, thanks for taking the time for quick feedback and customer review call. The idea basically is just to give some feedback how the collaboration went. I'm gonna ask you some couple of questions on how we worked together, what we did. Exactly. So the first question would be why did you decided to work with us, work with 902, and why did you sign up with us?
So we signed up with 902 because I knew Lenny from our network and he had a good reputation. So I spoke to him briefly about our problems and what we're trying to achieve, and then we quickly found out that that's exactly what he does. So we decided to give it a go.
Perfect. If you could briefly elaborate, what kind of problems did you have, which obviously I could help, which I was the right guy to help you fix them, and also if you could briefly also introduce the company, what you do in a nutshell.
Yes, of course. So Scrypt is a Switzerland-based crypto broker, and the problem that we had was that we are all crypto nerds, and we were speaking to crypto nerds in a crypto nerd language. And that worked well for a while, but we found out in the last few months that we also need to be able to speak to people who are not crypto nerds. So who are not necessarily on Telegram, but who are more on the traditional channels, as more and more established firms were getting into the space. So then we also knew that we need to look at traditional marketing avenues to attract these kind of clients and to speak to them. And we also needed a system to keep track of them as the leads and the amount of leads grew. So basically what we wanted to achieve is speak to more people, reach more people, and then get them in a call and get them to onboard and trade with us. And that's what we have put together with Lenny. And I think that's part of the next question.
Exactly. Next question basically would be exactly that. As you pointed out, the whole idea was to put together a system that helps you generate meetings with the right people. How did that go? What was the outcomes of that collaboration?
Yes, to sort of, it went really well. We got a lot of meetings booked. The resonance, basically the feedback from the people that we reached out to was positive, which means that the messaging that we put together with Lenny was basically accurate, and also the people that we did reach out to were also part of our target audience. So what Lenny did is ask a lot of questions in the beginning, assess our company, try to understand our value proposition and our ideal customer profile. And based on that, we decided which segment to target first. Lenny put together a list of a couple hundred prospective clients. Then we reached out to them with our targeted messaging, and the goal was there to get them into a meeting. So that was going well. We got a lot of meetings, and now we have basically validated that process, and we're trying to expand. So get more people to reach out to on different channels, different avenues. So we have validated the process, and now we're just trying to enhance it.
Perfect. Follow-up questions on that. How was it before that? What was the process before that? What kind of avenues did you try before that? And then how did the results change in that sense? I can hold it for you.
Yeah, sure. So before, it was a lot of personal networks. So everyone in the company used their personal contacts. So that was on different channels like chat platforms, social medias, and so on. Some of them were via email. Some of them were people we met on events. So it was a mix and match. And there was a lot of, let's say, cross-pollination sometimes, where people were talking to the same people because there was no basically system to check who's talking to who and what the current status is. So with Lenny, we set up a system where the team has visibility of who's talking to who and what the actual stage is, and also when to follow up. So that has helped in one way to follow up with leads who are maybe slow in responding or who are on holidays. And that had also helped the team to not talk to the same people twice.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. So if before we started like the collaboration, did you have any type of like reservations before we started our collaboration? Did you have any things that were you like unsure of, or objections or anything?
Reservations in terms of the tools and tactics we use, or you as a person and your company?
Me as a person, the service, the consulting, the results of the outcome of the collaboration, these type of things.
Right. In terms of the tools and tactics, I think there was definitely a knowledge gap between us and you. So we weren't really sure what is possible and what we can achieve. So you helped to fill that gap, basically get us to a level where we can use these tools effectively. So maybe there was some reservation on the technical side, but that was quickly cleared. I think from the personal side and the company side, there was no big reservations because, as I said in the beginning, we knew you from our network and only ever heard good things. So that was confirmed.
Perfect, thank you for that. So if anybody, like a friend of yours, would reach out to you like, hey, talking to Lenny, also have a crypto company and have type of like the same issues, but they were like, I'm not sure if I should go with 902. So what would be your advice to people that are like on the fence, let's say?
Maybe look at some testimonials, look at what you have done so far, how that has worked, maybe compile some questions and see where you can find those answers, and then maybe you can cross-check with Lenny, maybe on an initial phone call, and then see if there's room for collaboration. And I think there will be, because even though some people might be a little bit straightforward in their ways of doing things, Lenny still finds a way around it. So there's a tool and there's multiple ways of using it, and if certain people's personal style of work doesn't really fit one way of doing it, there's always another way.
Exactly. A lot of avenues lead to Rome, I think, as the saying goes. So what would be, like, let's say, to round things up a bit, like what would be the main benefits or that you got out of working with us?
Well, speaking to more qualified leads, that's one thing, and also having the systems in a documented way, so the existing team members can just continue using it in a time-efficient manner, and then also train new team members with the same systems. So one is having a setup that works, and two is having the resources then internally.
Perfect. Cool. Any last type of like things that you'd like to add?
Well, so far so good. Excited for the next few weeks.
Me too. Scale of 1 to 10, how happy?
I would say 9, because we only have you part-time.
Good answer. Thank you very much, Daniel, and looking forward to the continuation of the collaboration.
Likewise.